think, let's see, volume balance seems alright. If not, someone will tell me about that at some point. Let's put music more at 56, something like that, yeah. Alright, then I can close my own stream. So I don't need that open. Cool. So I think we're good to go, basically. Ooh, what's happening here? Don't freeze on me. Oh, there are actually hints. Look at this. There are actually hints here for the scenario editor. I feel like those might be new. I can even... I didn't screenshot it in time. Alright, cool. Alright, then we're gonna need this window over there. Make sure our music is actually cycling. Looks good. Cool. And then I need to lock my mouse window. Auto. Actually, do I need to? I won't lock my mouse to the window yet. Maybe I will. Auto mouse lock exe. There we go. Perfect. Now I can scroll. Alright, so we're going to work on HyperRandom. Let's find it. There we go. Let's add some more players. I feel like I actually want the music louder after all. Let's turn it up a bit more after all. Like that. Something like that. We can get the elevator music later too. Cool. Diplomacy. So I'm just setting up diplomacy so we can see team configurations as well. Cool. I feel like, it's just looping the same track, isn't it? Loop all, loop one. Give me the next track, please. Much better. Yeah. Alright. Let's turn that down just a pinch. I think this should be good for the audio balance. Alright. Now, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm changing the terrain so that hills are visually distinct on the minimap. Yeah, and I've been going through for each biome and sort of doing that. You can see we're on the tropical biome right now. And I'm gonna need, although there was one, we're gonna distract ourselves a bit from time to time. So I'm actually gonna hop, because there's a new command called Force Nomad Treaty, which has been added in the pre-update build, which is going to put a treaty mode into Nomad. And that's actually something we need to add to a bunch of maps. So I'll make myself a note to add that in general. Question is, do I want to distract and add it right here, right now? I'm tempted to do that. Where do I define if it's Nomad? Further down. Yeah, somewhere here. What have we got? Give pack TC. Nomad resources. If you use Nomad setup. Let's check where else we search for this term. Yeah. Because if I just give 0, I want to see if I'm not giving town centers. Alright, so use nomad setup is I can actually just tie it onto this. Do I need a treaty for pack TC? Yeah, alright. We're thinking if we use nomad setup. Well, I like this track. I think we're just gonna put this right in there, force nomad treaty. And then I can add it to the change log at the top. Is this... Cool. Now let's get back to what we were actually doing. Which was, oh boy, this is too long. Let's see. We were gonna do the tropical biome. Alright, so this generation that we have here actually isn't a bad one. We can freeze this seed. Did I do? Or let me quickly check. What do we currently have active? It looks like we currently have the jungle biome still active, so we need tropical biome. There we go. And you'd think that just changing the biome wouldn't change the map radically, but here you've got it. Now I'm noticing a distinct lack of wood. But we will fix this lack of wood, because that's just because we haven't defined the new hill terrain yet. So let's just do that. We need it defined. We'll start by doing here. Hill. Well, I also need a hill forest, but const hill. What did I call it? Hill A? Oh gosh, I don't remember. I was doing this today. All right, hill A. So we'll make that something we can see easily. Gravel for now. The hill forest can just be oak, and then we'll make it better in just a second. So let's see. Now we've got our oak on the hill. We've got our gravel hills. Now we just need to think about what kind of terrain we actually want for a tropical hill, and what kind of. So the normal tropical. Actually, I'm going to need a different map. This map is too unsuitable for my needs. Wow, we really have it with the weird. This is very weird. Alright. Are we on large? We are on medium. Oh boy. That looks like a more standard looking map. I want one with more hills though for testing purposes. Alright, we can live with this. Probably. Let's try one more. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Let's get another one though. I want one where I can also see the other terrain patches. These here. and address those as well while we're at it. Alright, let's... Alright, turn up the music. So, cool. We need to... Oh, this one doesn't have hills on it. Alright, we have a couple of things we need to deal with. So... Land A is desert, then we're saying the land X is crack desert, sure. Land B is dirt grass. Then we're putting grass jungle onto that. Can we put dirt 3 onto that instead? Dirt 3 has an ID of 3, which is very nice. So what we're gonna do is go here, go dirt 3. I'll grab the seed. So that makes this more dirt colored. We still have the problem that we actually have dirt and desert terrains lurking around. This is supposed to be tropical. And it's altogether too deserty to be tropical. How do we deal with that though? I mean, I had the jungle, right? This is sort of supposed to be a tropical island vibe. I still have the problem that I have dirt here, which isn't the same color as the desert, but... Alright, let's take a quick look at our archive of terrains. What can we do there? We could place beach. We're not going to do that. Dirt. What else can we place? Dirt 4? It's too much like a savanna. Or do I radically reimagine this maybe? What if we started out with green terrains? Like dry... Well, I think we reimagine this entirely. We're gonna use DLC dry grass, which I just saw. Isn't that? That's 100. Yeah. All right. We're gonna reimagine this. So copy. Then for the others, we'll just stick in the desert for now. I'm sorely tempted to stop supporting pre-DE versions. Maybe I'll make one more nice version that's compatible with, that's fully backwards compatible, but there's a lot of extra code that I have to do to catch all the cases to support old versions. So I don't know, I'm not so convinced. Well, alright, so if we purge that... Alright, let's just save that. What have we got then? Cool, that means that we now need to put... Desert definitely goes on the hill. Yeah. So we put that on. desert. And I haven't been putting a hill A terrain for non redwood jungle, so we don't need this here. Cool. Now comes the question, what do we do with the rest of this? Take another peek at what we've done now. The same hill is now deserty. I mean, this looks more like a tropical island, I would say. We need even more lush grass even. So these dirt things now need to be lush instead. I think so, yeah. So we do grass. 2 is there, so I think we do some green grass. Which one is where's grass 3? Grass 3 is brownish, so we'll start with 9 and then 0 for the IDs is what we want. Yeah. That's just grass 3, and this one is grass 1. I'm fine with quicksand, desert road, desert, cracked, all of that staying around. I just think tropical, I've altogether had it be too deserty in the past. Alright, so now we end up with something that looks more like that. More like, is that a tropical island vibe, sort of? I feel like it could be more. I mean, really, you need just sand. Alright, we need a generation that has more hills. Alright, then of course we're not going to put oaks. So if we're putting dunes up there, the dunes need to be palm trees. Hill forest needs to be the palm desert. So I'm doing palm. Yeah, something like that. Why? Do they? Oh, because they're being placed first. Fair enough. I feel like this is a more tropical look than what I had before. And you still have your dunes. Yeah, perfect. So something like this. Right, and then we've achieved cool effects. I still need to do a bit of mixing here for other things. We'll do that later. One step at a time. Ooh, mining camp. Alright, I think that's a better look. So can I achieve a similar look for the other ones? If I don't have them be based on desert, but I have them based on the dry grass terrain does not exist, which complicates things a bit. think I just leave the other third. I'm tempted to leave non-DE untouched here. For now. Yeah, I think we can work with that. Let's seed the map. Alright, so we've got tropical done. What have we got next? Savanna biome. Is the map going to be totally different? Right, it is, because I don't have the things to find that we need. Namely, we need hill forest somewhere over here. And we're also going to want hill A. Cool. Let's take a look now. Alright, we have forests again. This is nice. We have some hills, you can see them here. But this is more of a savanna look. So, what have we got going? Currently we have, it's savanna, which is, let me just quickly check. Savanna is brown on the minimap, so we're looking for a brown theme. Dirt 4 is brown. Dry grass is only layered underneath. So this is another case where we need a different color for the hills. And I think in this case it's not going to be desert, it's going to be the gravel. Because I could do a green hill, but that doesn't make so much sense in a savanna that there'd be a hill that's green, right? So if we did something like that, we have a hill right there we can take a look at now. So it would be sort of gravelly. We need some bigger hills. Yeah, something like this to look at. Yeah, I think gravel is the look that we want. Gravel is the look that we want. And then there's the question of what do we want in here? Pond arena. We can generate as pond arena. Hello and welcome, by the way. I'm liking the overall look, but we can't have palms up here. We probably want some sort of dragon trees. It's a single map that can be anything. Watch this. Is it a black forest? Or is it Arabia? Or is it whatever silliness this is? It does look pretty silly though. Why are the team members separated? This looks very silly. Something buggy went on. What's going on there? Or it can be nomad. Alright. Sure, let's freeze the seed. You can have all kinds of interesting shapes. So I think in a sort of a drier area you'd expect either the dragon trees or the acacia trees. Let's take a look at what we currently have in the way of forests. If we see dragon trees... Okay, we have a couple options. We can do dragon trees first. Or we do... Or... If dragon trees first, else... DLC, no warlord kingdoms. Dragon first, baobab first, acacia first, baobab first. Question is, which of these should be the one that's on top of hills? Do I need to Google dragon trees and acacia trees? Probably to do this properly, but... Let's go... Let's do that. Let's see. So we need to do... If dragon trees first, we'll do something like that. We could actually do, if we're doing different types of forests here, we should mix it up. So, alright, so let's see, if we don't have the DLC, what are we gonna do here? Then we just put up pine forest, maybe? Let's do 19 as pine forest. Something like that. And then for these cases here, dragon, oak, acacia. Then let's put acacias on top in that case. If we have baobab, acacia, dragon, we'll put acacias up as well. If we have full acacia, then we'll put dragon up there. Just 48. Yeah. This is a lot of typing, but it will look good when we're done. And if we have full baobabs, we'll do acacia. Do acacia again, yeah. Baobab, acacia, baobab. Their dragon forests don't exist, so we'll do acacia. And here we can copy our pine forest again. I think that is covered all the cases that we're currently supporting. So does that change things? We probably need a higher forest, a higher mountain to really tell. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of small mountains. Give me something taller, please. Okay, yeah, so that's a case where I've decided to put acacia on top. Hello, hello. We are working on my HyperRandom script again. Because there will actually, I'm gonna have a tournament organized. I want to update it for that. Let's see. Alright, time to Google just for a second. Acacia tree and see what Wikipedia has to say. How about dragon tree? I don't know. Maybe I should put more dragon trees up on the mountains. I think dragon trees might look cooler up on the mountains. So, dragon is 48. If we have all dragon oak acacia, I'll put dragon up there. If we have dragon oak acacia, I'll put dragon up there. If we have baobab acacia dragon, I can put dragon up there. If we have acacia 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 dragon, if we have baobab 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 dragon, then we need to leave acacia. Alright, let's try again. It's gonna be this map. No specific theme beyond being completely... Well, players will have to adapt because it can be all kinds of different... They don't know what to expect going into the map, basically. Yes. More random than most actual random maps. Wow, we have this sort of elevated water. I was wondering if I should spend some time to see if I can create an easy way to... Because you can't dock... Can you dock? I guess you can dock. A bit awkward. I guess maybe I won't bother dealing with it now. I feel like I should deal with this though. It's a bit awkward, really. So if we seed this one, can we deal with this case? If we go... Alright, so I think overall, we can look at this some more. We're right here, but if we go to connection generation, a bit further, somewhere here. Oh boy, alright. What would we replace it with if this were water? If we don't want water there. I mean, beach. Beach, they can still sail up the beach. So... Beach would be the easy fix, though. Let's just put one above this. So we want to replace terrain. All of the water terrains, basically, but we'll call it Azure. What's it called? DLC Water 4. And we replace it with beach. Terrain size. DLC Water 4, DLC Water 4. If we did something like that, could that already deal with the slope case? That is in fact not dealt with the slope case at all. Why is that doing nothing? Create connect all lands, replace terrain DLC water 4. Is it water 5? Maybe it's water 5. Well, we should be talking. Cool. So, I mean, I could do something like this to prevent. And then how's our accumulate connections doing? Do I have that active? Let's count. Mark my position. Okay, so I have 50% chance of accumulating connections. What if we just go 100%? Yeah, that's better. Now, if we were to dock this, not a dungeon. Dock, please. The problem is you can't dock. Oh, you can't dock. So I mean, I could do something like this. Though the problem now is, of course, I'm replacing it everywhere, not just where it's on the slope. So, oh, okay, so actually it isn't that easy. Alright, we're not doing this after all. It was a nice thought, but I can't do it so easily. I'm just replacing the water, but I only want to replace it where it's on a slope. To do that, I can't do it with connections. Yeah, okay. Sad. Alright, how's our music selection doing, by the way? What have we got? The arid land. Alright, give me some different music. What have we got? Classical, angry rock, calm ambient. Let's go for the Age of Empires Definitive Edition soundtrack. There we go. Now, I was actually looking at forests on hills and how dragon forests look up there. So let's finish that and keep going. We have lots to work on. I've got a nomad map. I feel like I can probably work with what I've set up here. It's very flat, and I put in the chance to not fill the forests after all. I like filling them usually. Not like that. Why is it doing this? This doesn't seem right. Did I set up my diplomacy wrong? Player 4 is allied to player 3. Player 3 is allied to player 4. Player 2 is not allied to player 1. Ah. Let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, much better. Sure, we can work with something like this. Alright, I think... Let's move on to the next theme. What else have we got going on? So we did Savannah. Let's do... We did Hill A, we also defined the forest. So we want to do desert. We'll do grass for now. Hello, hello. Oh, glad you enjoy the maps. That's why I make them. Yeah. And it's always nice to hear from people that are enjoying them. A couple other interesting things planned out, but they're coming later. Let's do 21, that's like snow forest for now. Alright, then we need to look at, so we're looking at desert, so we need to switch this over to a desert. By the way, if anyone ever has any questions about maps in general in AoE 2, I can answer them on stream and take a break from what I'm doing. That's the type of thing I'd like to do. Alright, well, we have a very sparse looking desert here. But we do have the mountains that we need. Alright. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting the terrains on all of them so that all the hills will be a unified color. Not like this though. So we just did a bit of placeholders. We don't want... Alright, so let's take a look. What have we got going here? For the desert, we're having it be desert with desert gravel, dirt, dry grass, quicksand. So what could we make the hill that looks so it looks different? What would a hill... If we made the hill, shall we say, not grass, but something else? Like leaves or something? Would that look interesting on a desert? I feel like it actually needs to be a dirt terrain, but let's try grass 3 for now. Just do a bit of experimenting. Alright, you have a question. What is the file type? The file type is in fact, it's a .rms file. You can see that up there if you have high enough, if you're looking at the stream in a good enough resolution. It's a proprietary thing, but essentially it's a text file. It's surely based off of some programming language, but it's pretty simple. It's not HTML. I'm still unsure about what I want to do with these mountains. Or I mean, we're not going to keep this. This is just a placeholder so that I see what I'm doing. We're likely to put like Mediterranean pines or something up there, maybe. What am I gonna do with the desert, with these desert spots? Yeah, no worries at all. I deliberately don't have it huge so it doesn't so you can see stuff that's happening on screen too, but that's why I'm here, to answer questions. Alright, well, we can think about this. Why don't we replace this with the Mediterranean forest right now? That Mediterranean forest we have here, that's the ID 88. So we just plop that in there for now. Something like that. And then maybe we put leaves up on these. Really what I should actually put up, this is supposed to be a desert. I should just not have the green at all. This should actually be, we need to rework some of these terrains. So that, wait, it says Hill A is gravel. Oh, I didn't rename this thing. Currently it says grass, but we should have that as, we should actually have it as gravel. Why do I have a hill? Oh, I didn't delete it. It's 9. Alright, we'll put it as 70. Something like that. Let's see. Alright, so that gravel is actually the same color as the desert. That is good to know. Which means that we could put that on the desert and put the dirt on the hill. Or we have the dirt everywhere. Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do is where we have dirt 4 here, we're gonna cut that and put that on the hill. We're gonna take the gravel. Where's land B? We're gonna do that. And then we're actually gonna take this. We're gonna rearrange some more terrains. Put that everywhere. Yeah, so basically, I mean, if you make a scenario, you paint things in the scenario editor here. You know, you draw your terrains from the terrain tab. I can't click here. I have to click here. You know, you do stuff like this. But if you're making a map script, you make it in the text editor and you can just generate what it looks like to get an impression of what you've got. Okay, so we're not going to have that as dirt 1. What if we do that as gravel? And then we put, what could we put there? We could put those, we have a couple of gravel types. We have a wet gravel too. I need some sort of gravel. Default is 70. Then we have desert gravel is 102. And DLC gravel beach, but I want actually... wet gravel beach? That's not what I want though. I want this one here. The wet gravel 81. I want terrain 81. Here. Let's go wet gravel. Then we have dry grass. We have quicksand, desert road, dirt 4. Let's go dirt 1 on the hill. Let's try what it looks like if we've rearranged all this. Let's see. Well, when you make a map pack, you make a couple different scripts. You know, this is a really fancy one. Normally you'd have something, you know, alright, Arabia is also very fancy these days, but you have sort of a less complicated script. That's also mine to open up something that's, you know, some things more simple. And you have basically you have a couple commands, and then it makes a map, and then you have. Do I have my map pack active? I do, and then you can just do something like this, and then you basically your text file generates the map, and then it looks different every time you create it, except it looks the same if you have a seed, of course. But if you use a different seed, then it will use the parameters that you made, but make nice looking maps. But we're gonna go back to what we were working on. Alright. And let's see what we've got. I was dealing with the gravel on the desert. Maybe I can make the desert gravel a bit lighter. Let's rearrange some terrains. Let's do some terrain rearranging. We don't want deadwood. Go back. We don't want random river either, actually. We want... That's a good question. You can tell, I mean, it's the whole thing is a bunch of tiles, right? It's like 120 by 120 for a tiny map, and each tile has information about it and so on. Yeah, the generator itself then does that. You can sort of actually work out what the generator is doing in the different sections of the script. You generate these lands, so essentially it's placing a square where the players are. Like a block here, and a block here, and a block here, and a block here, and then it expands the area around it, depending on what you've specified. I could do this. I could go step by step through this and actually show how it works. I should make a video. I was gonna do one where I use paint and just draw little examples and show how you get to different maps. But where was I? Yeah, essentially, and then you can place different splotches of terrain, and it does it according to what you've said. Right now, what you're looking at is me defining a bunch of things, but this is more complicated than your average map script in any case. But yeah, the actual work is done by a generator. I was going to do something here. So we said land X is set up to be desert gravel. We're gonna have land X be... we're gonna have land X be something else. How about cracked? Do I have the cracked terrain? I don't have the cracked terrain. We're gonna put the cracked terrain there. Then we're gonna steal the desert gravel. Put the desert gravel there. And then we're gonna steal the normal gravel. Put that where the wet gravel is. Then let's see what it looks like now. Alright, give me just a second and we'll talk about these things. Yeah, okay, this is slightly better. I don't want the desert to be too gravelly because I have a separate gravel desert. But I can work with this. Work with this, we need some hills. Really, I should almost put, given that this is the desert, I should almost put palm trees on there. Or dragon trees. 14 is palms, isn't it? think we actually want that. All right, now let's take a look at it. So, yeah, placing the players is the easiest process. So basically, this is the file. You just make a text file. You rename it with the correct extension. .rms for random map script, and you put it in the random folder. That's easy. And then as for a template, what you do is you go into the game files and you look up the script for, well, let's see, do I have anything open? I have Arabia open. But we can open the containing folder and open something that's simple, like Nomad. And then you have the official Nomad script. You use that as a template. And Nomad is that a decent example? No, we're going to look for a better example. We're going to open up Coastal, because Coastal is in fact... actually, maybe we should open Nomad. Let's do Nomad after all. We can work with Nomad. So we need Nomad. This is what Nomad looks like. So then we start up and essentially, okay, place the players, that's not so interesting. Let's comment out everything after here. So it's basically doing this thing called create player lands. All of these have a shared zone, which means otherwise you might have islands if they had individual zones, or team islands, but here, because they all have one zone, or they all have the zone of one, they're all together. And it has a specific terrain, which is defined according to the season. And if we place town centers, each of these would be, in the center of their respective player bit, but they don't, so we just sort of have the outline of Nomad. And then we can add in some terrain, we can add, the script adds some forest here, or tells the generator to place forest. It has been defined earlier on, so is this. And it's, basically saying, all right, 9% of the map should be covered with this forest, and there should be 10 clumps, and these clumps should be scaled by group, so they should be scaled by the map size, and they should avoid player start areas, and they should be 5 tiles away from other types of terrain. And then, look, we have some forests. The player saves the map for when the game loads. I will just add it into the list of maps. That could be cool. And then if we uncomment some more of the script, then basically there's some cosmetic terrain mixing where you mix different things just to make it look more interesting. So we can use the same seed again, and then you have basically some patches of leaves have been added in here with the mixing. They're specific, each of these times you place terrain, there's specific attributes and so on. You can, I have a document that explains all of it. But this is just a quick overview. Then you have an objects generation section where, okay, for DE they export it to a separate file. Although they don't for Nomad. So we're in luck. And you place lurables, huntables. Okay, that's like deer and sheep. You place your resources like gold and stone, birds and fish. And elevation is actually generated before all this, but they have it in the wrong order. So let's just go like that. Skip the elevation for now. And we've added resources and our villagers and so on. And then we could add some hills. We also we say how much we want. And this is placed theoretically randomly, sort of sprinkled across it, seeds places where then a clump will be. And then we have connection generation. This is used in Black Forest, for example, to make sure that players actually have a path between them instead of just being fully surrounded by forest. Or if you want player islands connected by shallows, then you would need connections. That doesn't change what we have for Nomad very much, though. And there we go. That's what a simple map like Nomad looks like. And then it imports a couple different seasonal files, so we can take a peek at their desert. They're using mainly this dirt terrain with some... Maybe I should use the dirt, this desert, and just put the dunes on the hills instead. Maybe I should do that. Well, what am I going to go through the gravel? Then I skip all the gravel? Maybe I skip the gravel. Alright, back to what we were doing. Yeah. Let's see. Alright. Oh boy. Ah, we have a vast amount of quicksand on the outside, which you in fact cannot build on. This is a crazy generation. Well. Let's get a less crazy generation. Something like that, yeah. Alright, so the center we're using the cracked terrain. I'm fine with having that. Then we have the dunes. Yeah, I feel like we skip the gravel this time around because we're gonna have the next thing is high desert, and that is a gravel desert. So maybe we just ditch the gravel for now. We look for more terrains that we can use that are dirt colored. Yeah, of course, I'm happy to explain. I think, ooh, should we put some mud in the desert? Clean road, no. Brown with the occasional cactus. Alright, we're gonna rework the desert again. Because I would like to have the dunes be on the hills and the brown terrain down low. So we're gonna rework this one more time. Just copy the entire code and do it differently. Oh, that means that we can't have desert there. Alright, let's go there. Yeah, I mean, it's actually, it's really not that hard to get started with map scripting to make, as long as you don't have sky-high goals of doing something crazy or modifying stats or placing triggers or something. That's just not possible, but it's not that hard to get into overall. With a high skill ceiling, though. Let's see, so if we don't have desert here, if we say we want dirt here, cracked, alright, let's think about this. We put the desert gravel back there, then we need something for this. So we need some sort of dirt colored terrains. We're going to put dirt 2 and dirt 3 there. I think. Or we just take the... We could take the beach. The non-navigable beach. Wet sand, wet rock. We want beach 79. Let's try 79. Beach, although isn't beach desert colored as well, not dirt colored? Alright, let's think about this again. Mud, road gravel, jungle road. I don't want a road. We can have dirt 4. Alright, let's start with dirt 2, which is terrain 11. It's dirt 2. Alright. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by. I'll try and stream some more again. I don't know when. Generally in the next half of the year. It's been a while, I think. Last streamed in spring, early summer. What are we gonna put here? Let's try mud. Wasn't mud 76? I feel like it was. I could also have the table that I'm using to look at these terrains open for you guys, but then the screen would just be too clustered. Dry grass. So instead of having the dry grass, we could have something. We could have the desert gravel, but we're already using that. What could we do? Gravel beach. We could mix beach there. Maybe. Although I think the dry grass looks decent. Let's try beach though. I'm probably gonna want to put mud there actually. Let's see what the mud looks like for now before we touch anything else. Then we have desert road. So if the hills are that, then we need the desert on the hill. And all of this code shouldn't do anything because we've already defined it. Alright, yeah, no. No, we're not doing this with the mud. And also this is looking awfully green. Too green. Alright, so we need to do a bit of a rearranging of trains. So we're gonna try the mud where the dry grass is. Then we're gonna try dirt 2 where the dirt 3 currently is. And then we're gonna put dirt 4 in that slot. Something like this. Let's try that, if that looks like a more convincing desert. Well, if you want the documentation, it's only if you're really interested. It's you know, if you're interested in ever looking at it, let me just go like that. Yeah. Alright, so we have sort of gravel in the middle. I can live with that. Honestly, this is looking too green again. I like the sandy dunes like that. This looks a bit green for me. What can I do to avoid that? What other... We don't have so many dirt terrains available. I could take one of the roads. Maybe. What else do I have available? Dirt 3 is too grassy. Dirt 1, dirt grass mixture, that's what I'm using right now. Clean road, grass foundation, eh. Dirt snow, eh. Road dirt. DLC rock, no. DLC Savannah. Let's try that. If I put 41 into here instead, if I'm happier with the way that looks. Savannah. Yeah, that's the look I can accept. Sort of small patches like this. We can have the dried mud, that looks fine. And then the dunes are like this. And I want... Do I even want... Yes, I want palm trees on the dunes. Alright, so... Yeah, I like this. And I always have the option of making an inverted one where I have the desert down low. Yeah, I'm happy with the way this looks. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. Okay. So we can delete this. And we have palm forest. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. Cool. I would say the desert sun. Let's skip ahead on the music. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So we want to do high desert next. So that's the gravel desert essentially, isn't it? Unless I also have a gravel desert somewhere. Mangrove swamp, wasteland. No, I don't. It's part of this, the high desert. I should probably split up these terrains a bit more. Not have it such a complicated structure if I don't know. I should. So we're gonna grab that. And just put it here. And then we're also gonna want the forest. That's not going to be palms in the end, especially given that we're doing alpine islands. I can already just go 19 and do palms there, do pines instead. Pine forest, yeah. Pine forest. Alright. And then desert. Sure, let's give me something good. Alright, so we have two versions. We have the gravel one and the dirt one. currently we are looking at the what looks to be the gravel one, I would assume, yeah. So in this we should actually have a different colored hill, so we're gonna need to do we're currently in this case, so we're gonna go here and we're gonna have that, we'll put that there, but we're gonna make this one what was it? 6 is dirt 1. Go away search box, 6 is dirt 1. Something like that, yeah. Give me one that doesn't have the green color correction, please. That's better. So now we have the other type of desert, which is this kind of desert. All right, give me another map. Let's take another careful look at this. Alright, so essentially, alright, that's the first one again. I should make one of these cases 0 and one of these 100 to make it easier to debug. Do I really want pines up on there? I probably don't want pine. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do. I'm actually not overly unhappy with the looks that we have. Give me another one. I might just leave the gravel desert the way it is. Yeah, I might just leave the gravel desert the way it is. Like the gravel one, it has desert gravel, cracked gravel, wet gravel. It has wet gravel twice. What if I did the other one of these as mud, as 76? Or as rock or something? I could do mud, I can pick whatever I want. I could also do beach, which it wasn't that like 80, oh boy, I don't know. Quicksand? I could even do quicksand. But the wet gravel beach, that's the one I'm using. I could mix rock. Let's see what rock looks like if it's mixed. I haven't done any, been very sparing with rock. To not give the wrong impression of unbuildable terrain anywhere. It looks nice. It really does. And what if I do the wet rock? I mean, the wet rock is even sticks out a bit more anymore, so I probably don't want to do that. Yeah, the wet rock I in fact do not want to do. Although maybe I do the wet rock. Let's just make sure I can place, you know, Colosseums on it. I can. Good. Nice looking Colosseum. Maybe I do the wet rock. Some adventurous terrains going on here. I'm not seeing my wet rock anywhere. Is that because we're looking at the other of the two? Oh. Maybe we do the dry rock after all. And if I, what's the unbuildable terrain here? If I have it here, it's just full rock. Well, let's just generate a bunch of them. I like the look. I really do. Alright, so this is the other style. Well, we're gonna need a different one though to properly assess it. Sure. So let's see, that one is doing cracked, then desert gravel, then gravel and more gravel, and desert gravel road with desert on the hills. Do we mix in the wet gravel again? This is the question. Do we mix in the rock? Let's try if we did the rock here as well, what it would look like. If we did something like this. I don't think that looks bad. I don't think that looks bad at all. We can have some more rock in our repertoire. Cool. We're giving the pine forest to all the terrains, right? So let's put that. Put it right there. I really need to clean up all this, but that will be task for another day. Alright, cool. So I think we're done with the high desert. Mangrove swamp. That's a fun and tricky map theme to deal with. So let's just start. Define, no, const hill A. Oh, 14 for desert. And const for hill forest. Make it 10 is oak. And let's take a look at a mangrove swamp. Alright, we have a mangrove swamp. So, how the heck can I clean up the terrains on this so they look nicer? Or do I just... do I make all of these things visual only? I don't even know. Alright. Alright, we're gonna have to take a look at a couple generations to really... Oh. So essentially, if I wanted to terrain for hills, for a swamp, it's gonna have to be mud or something, that isn't it? But I think I'm using mud for the center. So it's gonna have to be not mud. Oh. Boy. This is a crazy different generation. Alright, let's get another center. Let's get a center, please. Not that center. Not that center. Sure. Alright, so let's see what we're doing. We'll seed this map. Do we have any desert we can even look at on this? No. Alright. We're taking mangrove shallows as the base terrain. We're putting mud in the center. Grass mud. What is that terrain that I'm calling grass mud? That's something weird. That's DLC moorland. That's in fact a terrain we haven't used much before. I should probably use that on other maps too. Alright, so we have moorland. I'm really at a loss. What am I gonna do here? So we can put actual mud on the hill. We're gonna need an if DE for that statement. DE available. And if. Something like that. Mud. Cool. Alright, let me get one that has that on it. These are always so awkward because of the mixture of what is that? Is that our hill? Our mud hill? Oh boy. That's doing some interesting effects, shall we say. Well, it's buildable. It's buildable. City gates can go all over it. Docks? Alright. This is very interesting. Give me like a fishing ship. Fast fire ship will do. Alright, so this is actually land terrain, it just looks. Huh. Fascinating. I'll take it. Sure. Sure. There's some weird blending going on there, but sure. I'll allow it. I just want to try something. If I do something else then. Why is mud doing that? If I did some other terrain like dirt, 6. Let's try that. Alright, yeah, okay, it's doing that with all the terrains. So, I guess, how about we could also try dirt 2. What was that? That's like 9. Let's try a couple different looks while we're at it. Alright, no, 9 is a grass type. What was dirt 2? 11. That's... No, I want something dark. What if we... if we go all out and do DLC? Let's do some experimenting while we're at it. Yeah. Ooh. Observe the creepy swamp. Not doing that. DLC black is like 45 maybe? DLC cracked is 45. 47. We don't want to do something that's unbuildable, so actually we're not doing it. There's just some weird blending going on there. Fascinating. Fascinating. Well, yes, 69, that's the nice number to be the evil terrain. Well, what other fun-looking terrains can we plop there? Wet mud? Wet sand. How about wet sand? 80. Let's try that. If we put some wet sand up there. Yeah, that's sort of like the look that we had with mud. What if we put in reeds? I know it's a bit of a crazy thing, but what if we put in reed 89? Oh, I put in a bush forest. Well, that does open up some interesting possibilities. So what if we do leaves? No, I need to stop doing silly things. The expired farm terrain? I said I wouldn't do silly things, but farm dead is 8. Well, that's not a dead farm. I want a dead farm. That's dead to me. Farm dead is that. Alright. How about one of the farms in planting? Like farm 0%. 29. The reality is, do I even need to do a special train for hills at all? We're not doing the farms. We could do the mangrove farms. We could also not do farms. What else do we have available? Snow? That would be altogether too silly. Alright, we're doing mud. After all. Yeah, the mud looks fine. Cool. So. And D is grass too. And actually a special hill forest. A special hill forest should in fact not be this. The hill forest should be maybe the something. We're gonna put it here. We're gonna put in the reed forest shallows right there. And then on this one we're gonna put the mangroves. Yeah, something like that. And then we just put mangroves there for Wolo Kingdoms. We put mangroves with 20. And we'll put the jungle here. Yeah. Make sure I'm not still defining it up here anywhere. Alright, let's see if I can live with what we've just created. I need hills. More hills. This is really weird. Alright, so yeah, I question the desire to put reeds on top of hills. Can we put just straight up jungle, rainforest up there instead? Give me the rainforest terrain. Something like that. What's our music doing? Our music is being silly and not doing anything. Alright. How about we add... Just put hills on top of the reeds, yes. If only I could mess with the order of operations. Wait, I still have little dots here. Go away. Okay. problem is I can't mess with the order of operations, and the hills are made first. Try something like that. Better. Ish. This is still the wildest map. Can I also just add some of the new swamp overlay somehow? I really should, but I don't know how to. Let's just try a few more generations and see what it throws at us. Well, that's a muddy hill. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just make this biome less likely. I could actually do that anyway, because this is so wild. What is it currently set to? 5%? Why don't we steal 1% and put tropical on 10? Steal 1%, make that 4. Who else can we give a few more percentage points? Like temperate probably wants to be like 12, which means we can put mangrove swamp at 2, just to make it not too likely. Cool. In principle, though, the mangrove swamp is done, so that leaves us with this catastrophe of a biome. So let's see what we need here. Const hill A. What are we gonna add to the hill? What are we gonna call it for now? Let's make it desert. That's easy to see. And const hill forest. We'll call that oak. Sure. And then we're going to take a look at what we actually have going for us. Told you it was wild. Get me one that doesn't have the night, or do I always have the night color correction? No, I don't. All right. We, in fact, don't want desert on the hills. Are we gonna go? This might be. Is this a case for 69? It might be. It might be. Let's see what we've got if we do that. We're not doing that though, actually. That's altogether too crazy. Also, it would be too confusing with the build on this, but you can't build on this. We could have Swamp Hills, though, or something silly like that. Let's try that. If we did 112. Oh boy, I crashed the game, didn't I? I did, because the highest train is 111. I did. That is my fault. We will restart the game. Silly me. There are some fun things you can do though with the fiery corruption terrain. I have to think about that. Alright, let's skip the intro. Alright, well, while this boots up, I can take a quick snack. So I wonder, do you think this is something that only appears on the testing build, or is this just something that's going to appear in the future whenever the game ends unexpectedly? It could be either way. This could be something that they put in to get more reports for testing, but I suspect that this is something that's going to be in the game going forward. Interesting. Alright, let's submit it. It's probably going to send a crash log to them or something. Screenshot that. Interesting. By the way, if you guys haven't seen it, this is specifically interesting to those... Actually interesting to anyone, but specifically map scripters. There is now a search box. Why? See, you can do something like that. It's apparently kind of unresponsive, though. But yeah, it's very unresponsive. But the thought is good. It just, I can type forest and you'll have to wait, I don't know, a couple seconds to see it. And then we can see we have Sherwood Forest, Riparian Forest, Forest nothing, Battle Royale, Deforest nothing, Forest nothing, Teams, Perfect Forest, CL Black, Classic Black Forest, yeah. Anyway, that's cool that we have a search box. And let's get back to the editor. There's actually one more thing I could show you guys. It will take us a while to load, but I'm gonna show you guys. Search box is definitely cool though. Let's see, this scenario will take ages to load, but it was advertised in our Discord, in the map scripting Discord. Actually, advertised in a couple different places. It's useful for scenario designers, but also for map scripters. This is a scenario that has every possible, or nearly every possible terrain blended with every other terrain. So it's a nice visual dictionary of what the terrain blending looks like. The only problem is it also requires the game to load all the terrains into the memory at once, which is why we're sitting on the loading screen for a long time. Resources like forage bushes, gold mines, stone mines, and fish can be found under the Other tab after selecting the Gaia player. There we go. Why is my... Let's see, is it fixed now? My mouse lock isn't locked yet. I have to activate my auto mouse lock again. But anyway, it offers every possible blend, so you could look at something interesting and say, you know, huh. Oh, you have to look at it. It will pop up if you actually test the scenario. It'll pop up with text telling you that this is, you know, snow forest mixed with snow light, or that this is the new shallows mixed with probably underbrush. No, probably mixed with leaves. This was created with a Python script, from what I understand. But you know, you might realize, oh look, leaves in deep water look really nice when blended together. Who would have known? Now imagine doing this by hand. I mean, it is doable by hand, but that is a... that will be a lot of dedication. So let's see, what can we do with the black terrain? While we are here. Well, we actually want those black terrain mixed with other things. Let's get it on this axis here. Sorry, this is going to be a bit jumpy while I... Boy, where is it? Is it towards the front? It is. I mean, it really looks sort of the same. It's very dirty blackness, all of them. Alright, let's go back to our scripting case. I'm not going to bother setting up the teams for now. Four players, let's go. Well, it's easy. You have it and AoE2 both open at the same time. No, I'm kidding. What you need to use... having it open on a second monitor will be interesting and tricky. Alright. Color correction, go away. So, am I gonna do Swampy Hills? I probably shouldn't do Swampy Hills. Can they be docked? Oh, they can be docked. Alright, let's not do the Swampy Hills and find a different thing to put on the hill. What could we put up on the hill? What could we put up there? Do we put black up on the hill? Well, we already have black down there. So what do we put on the hill? Cracked is too bright. We need some sort of dark looking terrain. Mud. We put mud on the hill because mud is now brown on the minimap. Well, the question is what your computer can run as well. That will be part of the problem. I mean, you could family share it to yourself and then run both of them at the same time. Virtual machine? Maybe. Set a second, you need a second PC. That's what you really need. Alright, color correction. Fun as the night color correction is, it's not useful for looking at this. So, I'm fine with muddy hills. The question is, do I actually want all this weird blackness everywhere? I kind of do. I kind of do. I kind of do. I kind of do. What can we, maybe we... Alright, let's... Give me another generation. Don't make it a night one. Actually, there's an easy off solution to this. Where's color correction? There we go. Alright, yeah, the muddy hills look good. This looks unplayable, but maybe I can find something that's less bad, like wet sand. Wet rock buildable. Wet rock buildable. Wet gravel beach. Black. What if we put... We can put 69 there. Do we want... We probably don't want to do that. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Because the farms don't render if you build them on the terrain. Yeah, we're not doing that. Give me, what's the wet beach? Wet beach, wet beach, wet beach. Wet sand is 80. We could try that. Something like that. Sure. Sure, that looks alright. This only happens at a 1% chance anyway. Alright, why is the corner grass? That is not good. I have a typo somewhere. Is my comment broken? Land Z, Bogland 101. Something's wrong. Alright, let's do this one at a time. Wet sand. This one definitely. Why are the corners grass? They're supposed to be bogland. Oh, let's try. What if we made it 1? See if we get water there. No. So what's going on there? Where's my typo? Where is my typo? Mud shallows, beach, A. Something silly. I don't have a grass drain here. I might have just moved my mic a bit. Something next to a T. Am I blind? What am I not seeing here? I feel like I should be seeing something. Why do I not see it? Alright. Go, give me your results. Fine, so that's the default terrain. Good. Now, I don't know, let's do nested comments. They don't render properly, but... Debugging time! This is always fun. Alright. Why is the bamboo on it? Land A. Isn't land A supposed to be the map-based terrain? Alright, just give me a second here. Give me like a temperate. No, give me polar. Something is suspicious. Something suspicious here. Yeah, no, this looks fine. Such as it is. And it's a bit jarring, but... Alright, alright. Okay. Okay, something's weird. Alright, let me have 82 again as well. Wet rock buildable. Does that... We're not using that. Fair enough. B, C, D. Alright. You can have more wet rock buildable. Yeah, so these are these rock patches. They look nice, but why do we still have grass? Why? All right, we're gonna have to look in the land section to fix this. So, if I remove all of this, Hill A. Did I spell something wrong? No. Is terrain 18 something weird? What is terrain 18? Being paranoid right now. 18 is bamboo. Why do I have hill forest as bamboo? I mean, sure, but no. Give me 10. Huh. Maybe something having to do with the bamboo. So we've got water in there now. We still have this. We have oak now. We don't actually want oak. We don't want oak. What's the reed forest? I mean, I could just take bamboo, honestly. We'll put bamboo back there. I'm getting myself confused. Something suspicious is still going on here. Alright, so we have sliver of grass terrain, which is basically the map-based terrain currently, for some reason. Don't ask me why. Forest filler. Alright. Const water A. Something's weird. And I can't put my finger on it yet. Hopefully it's not like in the previous section I missed a comment. So we get water there, we get water there. We get the water there. So basically it's I'm having an issue of an undefined terrain. Whatever's in the corners is being undefined. And that should be this terrain, bogland. DLC bogland. And that terrain works, alright. Let's see here. It does work. Yeah, no, the problem is grass is default, and also the ID is 0. We're not finding it that way. Alright. What can we do about this? Is it the else case happening? Did I spell wasteland wrong? No, that would be silly. That's not happening. Alright, let's skip ahead a bit. We will figure out what's going wrong here. Oi! So this is not a land-based map. This is a water-based map. Okay, it's not the issue here either. It's a corner land. Alright, alright. Ooh. Wait, where was this thing? This is create player lands. Go away. No central land, go away. Alright, we're gonna do define no corner lands. I wonder what the issue is. It'll be interesting to once we figure it out. Alright, no corner lands does the trick. And we get black terrain. Now if we do... we get rid of that piece of code again. Okay, so let's take a look at the corner lands in detail. Define corner lands. If land-based map. This is not a land-based map. This is not a forest-based map, it's a water-based map. Corners are shallows, and corners are land. Let's try 100% of corners or shallows. See if we can fix that. Alright, shallow corners work. So let's do 0 and 100. The weird thing is this works on the other terrains. Okay, so it's an issue. We'll have to fix this with 90 and 10 afterwards. If corners are water, no. Else if corners are shallows, else if corners are lands. If specials, corners use land A, otherwise they use land X. Alright. One of these lands is not defined. And I was probably really silly and just deleted land X or something from the list. Okay, that one works. Good that I have everything named very descriptively. That works as such. This land C is suspicious. Why does that not work? It does work. So I have a percentage somewhere that doesn't add up to 100 or something silly like that. Because it's none of these cases. But if I do 5, 45, 45, yeah, it must be something like that. Either I messed up and I have a percentage somewhere that's somehow carrying over because I didn't properly close it, or it's just a rare bug where it doesn't add up to 100. I wonder. Let's investigate this a bit. Huh. 10%? Huh. Huh. 5%?